Um, right, okay, so what we are going to talk about is fixing your website homepage today. So do you know what, by 4 o'clock this afternoon you could do this. So who am I? I'm Katrina. So if I've not met you, if you just know me as Words for Wellness, I'm actually called Katrina. So I started off Words for Wellness a few years ago, and also that then developed into the Words for Wellness Learning Centre. I'm a copywriter, so that means I write words that sell. I am also a content writer. That means I write the words that connect. I'm a total SEO geek, and I'm a marketing psychology nerd. So that's me. The footsteps you might hear thumping around upstairs are my kids, because we're doing that. I'm not going to call it homeschooling. It's online schooling. So I am going to try and move this off to the side a little bit more. There we go. So pull up a seat, grab your coffee. Hopefully you're joining me. And what we're going to go through it's going to take us about 40 minutes or so. We're going to look at why it's essential to connect quickly and clearly these days. We're going to go through the anatomy of the homepage. We're going to look at both if you've got a shop-based site and also if you've got a kind of a services website as well. So what mixes well for those. We're going to look at those all-important 5 common website mistakes and how to fix them. Then we're going to find some help, and also we're going to have some time for question and answers. So as I said before, if I'm talking and you've got a question to ask, if you just pop it into the chat, and that will be all good. So why do you need to stand out online? Do you know what? Everybody's online at the moment, have you noticed? And if they're not, all of a sudden they need to be. We all thought it was going to be a computer virus that was going to take everything down in the digital world. But actually it's been the opposite, and now people are struggling to get online. So look at these numbers there. This is from January this year. So here we are in May, 1st of May. So these numbers are actually going to be higher. There are about 1.74 billion websites in existence. There's now going to be more because people are having to build websites. There's over 5.7 million blogs posted every day. And we go into Google and we make 7 million search queries every day. So we need to somehow stand out amongst this. Why is it essential? You've probably experienced this when you've done website searches as well, is we've got less than 3 seconds to tell somebody exactly what we do and why they need it before they head off and find somebody who does tell them really quickly and clearly. People spend so little time kind of doing that real first assessment when you land on a website. And if you don't get the information you need really kind of less than 1 second, some people are even saying now, they're going to go somewhere else. The thing is, you don't need a fancy website. You need one that works. So even if it's a 1-page website, you just need one that works. And what I mean by one that works is one that's really clear about the problem it solves. It's quick to understand, it's easy to understand, and it's clear about the action that you want them actually to take. And that's what we're going to be looking at. So what should a homepage actually look like? The homepage is our shop front of our website. It's our big fancy door. It's got the nice paint, it's got the flowers outside it. It should be really welcoming, but we need to keep it simple. So your homepage starts a conversation. It's a really quick snapshot of what problem you solve and for whom. And it gives them an idea of what's inside. So you don't try and pack everything onto your homepage. You're just introducing everything. What should it have? Now, this is true for both service sites. So if you offer services, or you've got clients who you meet up with over Zoom, or whether you've got, for example, a Shopify site and you're selling products, what you need are these 5 things. You need a clear statement of the problem that you solve. You need a clear statement of what answers you give. You need a really clear call to action. So, and repeat it several times. What do you want them to do? A brief introduction to you, and a value-laden freebie opt-in, something that people can access and get to know you a bit better. So those are the essentials that you need. If you've got a shop site, then you'd also want on there some of your high click-through categories. Not every single category actually on there. They can be on the tabs drop down at the top, but you'd want your key, your main categories in there too. So what are the website fixes? What do you need to now take and go and look at your own website? So you could even have your website up on the screen next to me if you've got a big enough screen. I have a couple of different monitors here. So what are the 5 common website mistakes that we can fix? The first one is what we like to call the grunt test. I also call it the granny test, unless your granny's kind of really hot on things. So think of this question. If a complete stranger lands on your homepage, could they understand what problem you solve by just looking at what comes up on the screen without scrolling down? So we're talking about the header section of your website. What is there, either on when you look at it on a mobile phone or on a computer? If somebody lands there, do they know exactly how you help them? So it's called a grunt test because can a caveman understand it? Now, I prefer to say granny test. So could your granny look at it and get it? But is it really quickly understandable? So here's a couple of examples. These are common mistakes, and I'd like to, I try to go to really random places in the world and find examples, not from kind of where we're likely to be in New Zealand. So these 2 examples are from overseas. Apologies if you know these people. They're not clangers, so they're not obvious mistakes, but they're really common mistakes. Now, this person here is a certified life coach. And what she's done is a really common mistake. She's not told us anything here about why we should engage with her. So it's a common mistake because it looks pretty. And yes, indeed, it shows that she's a professional life coach. It's got a nice image. It's got this scrolling overlay, but it actually doesn't tell me who she works with and what benefits she could bring to me. So if I've got somebody who does, then I'm likely to go with them more. Here's another example of, again, it's not a clanger, but it's a common subtle mistake. And that's not saying, why should I engage with you? So you've got this lady, again, she's overseas. I'd like to apologize if you know her. I will do a free do-over of her website. But it's really useful to use kind of live examples. And again, we know that she is under here, it says a fulfillment coach. So I'm thinking, what's that? That make the most of your one wild and precious life. But she's not giving me any information about why can she help me? Now compare that to this. Here we go. We can look at this and we see family life coach. So you've automatically answered the question, what am I? I am a family life coach. I'm not a women's life coach. I'm not a men's life coach. I'm not a leadership business life coach. I am a family life coach. What problem do I solve? I bring families together forever. So you'll notice also the word I isn't in there anywhere. But what this one shows is what they do and what problem they solve. So if you are scrolling on your cell phone, some of the sizes of them are pretty small. All you're going to see in a header image is this image and those words. And if that's what you're looking for, then you're going to connect with that. And you're going to go, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a family life coach. I've got all this stress in my family. I know what's going to, so you're going to start the conversation. You're going to scroll down. You're going to read more. Now, if I'm looking for a business leadership coach, I'm going to choose somebody completely different, but that's okay. That's not this person's target audience. And that's the trick, is conversing with you want to build that conversation with the person that you're going to have a conversation with, who's going to be part of your tribe, who's going to kind of engage with you. So the second fix is, does your homepage have at least one call to action button in the header section? So the top of your homepage is a big hitter for people's eyes to linger. So most people put a contact, a blog, or a shop in that top right tab. But putting your call to action button there where people's eye lingers the most helps them to know what you want them to do when they land on your website. They might not click that button immediately, but they're going to remember what it says. So here's an example. We've got the call to action button here, let's get started, up here in the corner and right front and center. It's the same thing there. So on my website template, I can't put a button there, which is really frustrating because I know it's a big hitter. So you put one here, and that's one of the problems that some of the website templates have, is that you can't put a button right in the top. So have one right at the middle. Now, a lot of people say, well, if somebody lands on my website, they're not going to click that because they don't know anything about it. And as I've said, you're right, they might not. But you're already getting them thinking about what they need to do next. And often you'll find somebody comes back to your website 2 or 3 times before they actually make that decision to engage with you. And so as soon as they land there, the next time that they're ready to engage, the button's there. The third thing we need to do is think about if our client isn't ready to actively engage with us, what do they want to do? Is there something there, a lead generating opt-in, that people can click and they can get to know us better? So many people do this as an opt-in or in an actual section on their homepage, so that there's some way that people can get to know you if they're not ready to commit. And you don't let them go without showing them how much value you can offer. So it's the first point in that conversation where you can get to know them. They can get to see kind of how you work with the opt-in that you give them, with the download or video or whatever. And so they can get to know you. You follow it up with the email sequence. We've all been on the other end of it. And you get that conversation started with them. A pop-up about pop-ups. Any conversation on any business site, it will come round to pop-ups at some point. And pop-ups annoy everybody so much, but you know what? They convert. And here's how they convert. So the tip is, you don't set it up to flash as soon as somebody lands on your page. It's really super annoying. You haven't given people time to get to know you. So you set up your pop-up to flash when they've scrolled at least 50% of the page, or if it looks like they're going to leave your site. So trackers will tell if your mouse is hovering up, and it's called, often on the buttons when you're setting up your pop-up, it's called exit intent. And so that means it knows when you're starting to leave, or as I said, once they've scrolled 50% of the page, because pop-ups do work. It's counterintuitive when they really, really, really annoy you, but they do work. And so looking at that pop-up to kind of give some value, but using it properly like that. So what freebies, slight tangent here, what freebies can we offer? So offering a freebie allows you to show how you can help them further. It establishes your authority and starts helping them achieve a goal on the way to what they might purchase from you. So it may be a PDF download, it may be an ebook, maybe some of your most popular blogs repurposed into an ebook. Could be a checklist, a quiz, a discount, a video, a webinar. Those are all kind of really, really well converting ones. Another one which I didn't put on there, which actually does really well, are using case studies as well. So offering them a freebie somewhere on your homepage gives them another option. If they're not fully ready to really engage with you, then a value-laden freebie is a great way to take the conversation to build your email list. So that's a third thing that your homepage really needs to have. The fourth thing is the eye check, and I love doing the eye check. So what the eye check is how many times on your homepage do you say I? I like working with people who, I work this way, I am really passionate about. The focus of your website is to have your client see how you help them. So you've got to remove any doubt that you have about this. You are not the hero of your website. I know it's your website. I know it's your business, but your client is the hero. You're the guide. So here is how Donald Miller, who wrote the Building a Story brand book, here's how he describes it. He says, and rightly so, the hero is weak. So if you think about a movie like Star Wars or The Hunger Games, the hero is Katniss. She starts off being weak. The whole process being guided by Hamish, she brings strength. She ends up strong. The same with Luke Skywalker. He's a bit of a weakling to start off with. Once Yoda gets hold of him, there's no looking back. You're the guide. You are the strong one. You don't want to be the hero because the hero starts off weak. So we've got to make our websites about the hero, the person who's reading it. So all the talk of I do this, this is how I work. We really enjoy doing this. This is our mission statement. That's about you. We've got to make our websites about the person we're trying to connect with, to draw them in. How do we do this? Okay, every time you write a sentence that's about you, I enjoy working with people who we believe we're passionate about. Flip it into putting your client as the focus of the sentence. So you may want to say things like, many people, our clients enjoy, we help people buy, would turn into, our clients are looking for. So right from your client's point of view is the other thing to do. What are they thinking about? What do they want to see or learn when they come to your website? And if you address that, they will read your homepage and they'll go, oh, you know me so well. It's like you're inside my mind. And they see themselves in your website. So talk very much. Now, I'm going to give you an extra tip here. When you are writing your homepage, go and have a read of it. There was a trend a while ago, and it's still going on, that you'll put a list of, do you experience this? Are you feeling like this? Do you feel this? In which case, we're the people for you. That works, but it doesn't work as well as putting it in the third person. Many people are feeling that they're really stressed at the moment because we can't get out of our bubble. If you say something like, are you feeling stressed because you can't get out of your bubble? People tend to do the emu impression, the ostrich impression. I'm going to stick my head in the sand, in denial. So it's very abrasive when you get to a website and somebody's like, are you feeling this? Are you doing this? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to admit it to you. So if you put it into the many people find, many people are experiencing stress at the moment, then what you're doing is you're allowing your reader to feel empathy with the person they're reading about. And they'll read it and then they'll go, oh, that's really sad for them. And then they go, oh, do you know what? I'm feeling like that too. Oh, maybe I'll read more. And that's a strategy which is very subtle, but works very well. And it also helps you see it from your client's point of view. So whenever you look at your website, think about your ideal client, think about your tribe and what they're thinking about when they read this. They want to be reading about them. Think about the last website that you personally engaged with that you felt was really, really awesome. That's another way. Why did you feel awesome when you were reading it? How did they do it? And then mirror it on your own homepage. The last thing, number 5, do you have a plan? You know, a plan's a really good thing, especially if you're somebody who's kind of really hot on checklists like me. I like creating checklists just so I can score them out. If you give somebody a plan, you take away the thought process of them thinking, what do I need to do next? So this works brilliant for shop sites or for service sites. Give them a plan, tell them what they need to do. If you can boil down those steps into 3, visually it's very powerful. It's not too long. Certainly don't do 10-point plans because they'll have lost the plot, they'll have lost focus after the first 5. Tell them what to expect, what to do next, spell it out for them. People's brains are really full, and especially at the moment, we're all just thinking about everything going on. So if you land on a website looking for help and somebody said, do this, do this, do this, they will do it. Here is a prime example. So this is a testimonial I got, I think it was the end of last year actually. And it was just amazing because it's just like, this is what it does, what it says on the packet. So this was a client, I updated her website for her. She said, I had a lady call me yesterday. She said, when she clicked on my website, the message was so clear. She contacted me immediately. We had a plan and we told her what the plan was. And the person read the website. She knew what the plan was. So sometimes people go, oh, but people know what to do. It's like, yeah, but if you tell them what to do, you're in charge of the conversation that's going on your website. So here's another example of a plan. So this is an example that I wrote. So you've got what's the plan about? It's a plan about having a good night's sleep. So what do? They enroll today. They start learning now. And the outcome is they sleep better. So we're giving them the plan. What do? Okay, I'm going to go and enroll, and then I'm going to learn, and then my baby's going to sleep better. Oh, sorry, I thought I'd put 2 in there. So on a shop site, you may say, create an account, start shopping, create your own home spa. It may be enter your email address, start shopping, use a discount. So you can give them a plan of what to do. And generally, because people don't like burning excess brain calories, they will do the plan. So if you've got a plan there on your homepage, they know exactly what to do next. Why go and do something different if they are telling you what to do next? So what to do next? Those are the 5 I see coming up time and time again when it comes to looking at people's home pages. And as I said at the beginning, your homepage is really where it all begins. Even if somebody comes to your website through a blog or through another page, they usually then flick to your homepage, then to your about page. So your homepage is really where everything begins. And if you cover off those 5 things and go in to fix them, you'll end up with a conversation that actually draws somebody into your website. You'll stand out. They'll engage with you because they can quickly and clearly see how you can help. And so they're not left wondering. So help is at hand. Don't worry. if you go and do those 5 things, you'll have sorted your homepage. And as I said, I'll send out a copy of this recording, and there'll also be the kind of the PDF worksheets in there as well, so that you can go and fix up your homepage. But if you want to actually look at the rest of your website, I have an online course that you can access anytime called Write Your Website. It gives you all the words, so not just your home page, but your about page, your contact page, your service and product pages, which allows you to connect with your tribe, convert them into raving fans, transform their lives, and grow your business, which is the main things. So with this course, it guides you step by step and click by click through every page of your website and all the things you didn't know that you needed. It's got the videos, it's got fill in the gap templates and workbooks, examples of how you can make it work for you, an example website that I take you through so you can see how the templates fit together. And this is what I do when I write website copy for people. So it's that whole process. It's the SEO, it's the blogs, it's everything around it. Normally it's $447 New Zealand, but I've been running a special discount because we're all in crazy times at the moment. So at the moment the course is $247. That's your whole website written. And then when I email out the website, because you're my special people, there'll be an extra discount that you can add in on top of it there. The extra tip that I'd like to give you, and this comes up time and time again, I do the words, but the stress that I see my clients go through when they are setting up their websites, I really encourage people to work with web developers because they know what they're doing and you don't need that kind of stress in your life. So one of the things I always encourage is to consider working with a web designer, a web developer. And I thoroughly recommend working with Laurie from Lola Media. We've worked together on many projects and she produces the most beautiful sites, very interactive. So the first extra tip I'd like to give you is to consider working with somebody to update your site for you or build your site for you. And the second thing is the value of that freebie download. So if you're considering doing a freebie download from your website, that's an ebook or a PDF, even kind of putting your key blogs together and into kind of an ebook, get it looking brilliant. And I work with Terry, and Terry's designs are just are amazing. In fact, I think Terry's hiding on here as well. Hi, Terry. Is you cannot go past having something, that first point of contact that looks professional. It makes your confidence you just glow with confidence when your website and your downloads are looking professional. And I see it time and time again in my clients that you can see people start to sit up straight and glow when they've got the confidence to go out there and face the world. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. We're going to go to the chat and I'm going to start answering some of those questions. So welcome back. I am going to bring up the chat here. So I've got a lovely little comment here from Sophia saying, happy for you to use my website as a terrible example. I would never do that. Okay, so Kim T, you've said, I've crammed in all my services on the front page. I know it's wrong, but I'm struggling to know what to replace it with. Well, hopefully if I've answered some of those questions for you, Kim, of what to actually put on there. And it is really difficult sometimes to know what to put on. But if you go back to this slide, which says your homepage is really the start of the conversation. So even if you've got just a one-page website, think of the essentials that somebody needs to know. So don't cram in all your services. Think of the conversation that your homepage wants to have with people. And if you tick off those 5 boxes, you'll see that actually the conversation can be relatively brief. And then your call to action is to take them off potentially to a page where you do list out all your services. And then to the services pages, or on there, like a shop site would have its categories, you could put, say, 2 or 3 of your key services on there. So bringing it back to what is the conversation of your homepage. It's a get to know you. You don't want them to start having to make decisions about where to click next. So even when you have that section, which is like that really brief introduction to who you are, on your homepage, don't get them to click off to go and find out more. They'll see it in the tabs at the top. We all know that trick. So keep it quite brief and keep the conversation on, this is the introduction. Now you need to go potentially to the services page or to the shop site, and then you can engage more. So Mel, would the freebie link with the email opt-in? Yes. Would the freebie link with yes? Okay. So once you've got your beautiful freebie opt-in, whether it's a video or a webinar or a download, that then triggers your email sequence, which gets to know you better. So another shout out, if you go to a website called thehelpfulacademy.com, you will see a whole heap of email templates that I wrote. And you can set up those welcome and sell emails that then go on. So that's thehelpfulacademy.com. That's Kat Soper's amazing business academy. It's absolutely wonderful. So you can set up those all to link through from your email provider, whether you use MailChimp or MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, Klaviyo, any of those service providers. When somebody kind of puts their email in and goes, yes, I want your opt-in, the email system can then deliver the goods and then follow up with an email sequence before they get onto your main email list. And that gives you the chance to woo them, to get to know them, to show your authority, to show that you can be trusted. You can kind of introduce them into your tribe, and you can upsell them to the next thing. So yeah, your freebie links with your email opt-in, it all goes in together. Donna, you said, do you have a service offer where you can review existing website copy? Yes. And in fact, the thing I ran out of time to do, because I was being a good mother and actually giving the kids some attention while I was trying to work, is it's just about to go back up on the website, is I do have an SEO and website copy audit. So I can go in, and I'll put the link to that in the email as well, where I can go in and I'll look at the copy, I'll audit the copy, and also look at the SEO as well, because that's my nerd topic. Anybody else got any questions? Do you want to type them into the chat? Or give me a thumbs up if that all seemed okay. Yay, thumbs up. It's always good to get thumbs up. Oh. So one of the other questions that I get is, do I need a fancy website? And I think in a lot of people's minds, you get a lot of kind of big thoughts about websites. Websites can actually be remarkably simple and easy. They do not need to be complex. They don't need to have kind of all these different pages on them. The essentials of a website should have should have your home page, definitely your about page, and your about page you should pay a lot of attention to that. Contact, how are they going to get in contact with them? And services. So a page for your services, which are essentially your sales pages. Obviously, if you've got a shop site, you need your shop and still need your about and your contact pages. You also need it depends where you are in the world, but there may be kind of legal issues about what else you need. So you'll generally need a privacy statement on your website. You might need terms and conditions on there as well. If you're running Google Analytics and you've got cookies, you have to tell people about the cookies. So there are all those kind of things going on. Blogs are a thing that should be ideally on all your websites as well, because they are a quick and easy way to supersize your SEO, which is your search engine optimization. So here we go. We've got a couple of extra questions. Judith, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And look, I haven't been bombed by kids and dogs, and although I've got a cat hovering outside, but usually the cat is about here, so you see her. So Kim T is saying, wondering about email sequences. I know my inbox is already crammed full. Does this put people off? No, it shouldn't put you off. If you do one really simple thing, you make it relevant to them. So I have an awful lot of emails coming in. I subscribe and unsubscribe depending on my own needs, and a lot of people do that. The ones I keep reading are the ones which are valuable for me. As soon as they start trying to I've got one person that I regularly unsubscribe from because he's annoying, and he just goes sell, 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 sell. Like, if you go in with value on your email at the front of your mind, and knowing about your clients, your ideal clients, your tribe, they will read it. Okay, so keep value first, and then when you do sell, they'll be more likely to engage because they're already engaging with you. So yes, a lot of people go, oh, I can't email them too quickly, but if you're giving them value, they will read it. So think value. What are they going to get out of this? And I will go out to my email list and I will ask them, what do you want? I think I did it in January again. I went out on my email list and I said, are you liking what you're getting? And that's okay, because people go, oh, she's asking for my opinion. That's really good. I'm going to give her my opinion. And so you'll actually find that you get a lot of value out of those kind of emails as well. So Nicole's saying, I'm just getting my website done for me, as my attempt was rather disappointing. I know. Do you know what is a lot harder? It's taken me years to get the words for my own website right, because I can't write for myself. So yes, when you get your website done for you as well, these are things that you can check off as well. In fact, I worked with somebody at the end of last year who made her own website, just about to click publish, and got me in to do an audit, and then we rewrote it. But then she was really, really pleased with the outcome. She felt a lot more confident. So you can write your own, and that's why I put together the Write Your Website course, because certainly when I started my business, it was a nutrition practice years ago. I needed to write my own because I couldn't afford for anybody to do it. And I look at so many websites and people come out and they go, oh, look, I got a website. And they go, give me feedback. And I go, oh, right, let's type this nicely. And that's because we often don't know. We base our websites on what other people do, not realizing that theirs isn't hitting the mark either. And that's where the website course kind of came into being. And it works you through exactly how I write for people, meaning that kind of all those connection points, the way that we look at a website is, from when you're writing it, is a lot different to when you're reading somebody's. Nikki says, can you tell us the names of the courses on emails at the Helpful Academy? Oh, yes. Some of them have been renamed. You'll see them. They've all got email next to them. So there is one for retarget your abandoned cart. So for those of you with shop sites, if you've got somebody who's almost got to the sale and then dropped it, there's an email sequence there on how to get them to complete the sale. There is a course called Welcome Like a Pro, and that is the welcome email sequence following your lead magnet, your freebie download. There's a welcome and upsell, so that is welcoming them and then selling them a product. Trying to think the other ones that I've done. Oh, I've got a list somewhere. Here we go. Here's my list. I've got a few more to go. So we also have, re-engagements. How many of you have people sitting on your email list and they've not opened anything in a really long time? So that's the email sequence that deals with that. So you'll see them all. They've all got email next to them. So Elise says my website's pretty new, but my conversion rate of people looking to services to get to clients is great. Awesome. So that's really good, Elise. You've got a good conversation going. So just going back and double checking those five points will hopefully improve that. Right. So yes, Amanda, I've been overthinking. Yes. Stop overthinking your website. Hands up the overthinkers in the world. Yes. So check those things as well, Amanda. Just check those 5 things, and that will help you start thinking about the other pages in the same way. Yes. So just self-audit them. Yes. So I've seen a footnote on a few emails with, did a friend forward this to you? Get your own copy. Is there a trend with people asking to forward emails on to friends? There is and there isn't. It's one of those strategies that people do use. You can do it if you've got something. If you've got something like that, it's certainly not going to hurt. And it's something that a referral is a very strong quality lead. So if you get referrals, then from somebody, so if your friend says, oh, I went to Katrina's webinar and it's absolutely awesome, you're going to be more likely to go to Katrina's webinar rather than just going. So certainly having it in kind of the footnote of the email newsletter type thing that you send out can be a really good thing. You can also, on a lot of email servers will give you a URL, so a web link for the email, and you can share that on social media, and then it has subscribe buttons in there. So that's another good thing to do. Here we go. What else? What are your thoughts on working with someone like Sign Up Search as an SEO booster? Allowing them to place content on your site? Is it just junk? It's really interesting working with companies for SEO boosters, and the main thing is to look at what they're actually going to be doing about placing content. What content are they going to be placing on? Is it something that you actually want on there? There's a lot that you can do both with the words and also how your website is actually set up. You're best getting something like an SEO audit done, looking at the words, looking at how people are trying to find your site and what they're wanting from it before you're doing the boosters, because some of the booster things can be interesting in what they do. Yes, it's probably, it would sell, we should probably talk about this off this as well, but using the different SEO boosters where they place content, you've just got to be really certain about what they're doing. There, one new message, here we go. Is it worth getting an audit done on a brand new site? Yes, it is, as a double check. So if you've got a brand new site, if you've just published or just about to publish, it can be worth just getting a copywriter a web-based copywriter to have a once over. If you're feeling a bit hazy about it, I usually recommend getting just a website audit, an SEO check done about every 12 months. And the reason for that is that within 12 months in the business, you might have pivoted, not just once, but twice, and kind of every week at the moment. So it's really useful to double check that your website is saying all the things that you want it to say, that it's visually, it's looking updated, that the SEO is current. So it's always worth getting kind of just a quick check done, a quick audit done at least every 12 months. Katrina, awesome name. Thought it was just me pivoting week to week. Oh no. I think a lot of us at the moment are doing some quite amazing pivots at the moment. It's all go in business world at the moment, which is why it's really important as well just to take some time to breathe and just double check what we're doing. Right, how's everybody going? Any last questions before we wrap this up? She says, looking at the chat thing, are we all happy? I've got thumbs up. That's awesome. Well, listen, I'm going to sign off and say thank you so much for joining me in my bubble in Auckland, in cloudy Auckland today. I hope your bubbles are safe, and keep safe and be kind. If you'd like any more info, you've got the emails from me, so that's my email address, and I will be sending out the recording with some information as well. So it's been so lovely to have you all here, and go and enjoy your Friday afternoon. We're going to go and eat more birthday cake, and I will see you all later. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.